If you're not where you want to be in life right now, it's only because you're not thinking right. If it's something that you really, 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 really want, the only way you're going to get it is if you focus on it and think about it. The greatest minds in the world all got what they wanted by way of thinking about it. And everything do come by way of our thoughts. So when we was kids, it was cliche. Our teachers would say, you know, the mind is a terrible thing to wait. Your mind is so powerful. Use your mind, right? Once again, no one told us how. So if we have a mind and it's powerful and it gets us everything we need, how do we use it to get it? Well, what is the mind? The mind is a powerful energy source, and thoughts are electric and magnetic. And those thoughts that we have, and we have 70,000 thoughts a day. So all those thoughts we have creates the material world and the matter that we see around us. The microphone that I'm speaking on, the chair that I'm sitting in, the TV or the microphone, the TV or the phone that you're using to watch me on was created with matter that came from thought, which is energy. That means every thought you have is a creative energy that go and create the matter that we see. I didn't know that. Now that I do know that, I'm mindful of what I'm thinking. And it's easy to focus what you're thinking on without distractions. That's going to be another podcast, another episode, but distractions is really the only thing that keeps us from our higher source. We can't be distracted. Every day we wake up, we got to be focused on what our intentions are, what we want. That's how we manifest it. That's how it comes to fruition. That's how it come to be. Everything in your life, everything that we see came by way of a thought. Everybody are creators. We all are creators. That's why if you really pay attention, everything that you see, everything that you use was created, was once a thought of somebody's, right? So be a part of that. Be a creator. I created freedom, believe it or not, because didn't nobody look for me. 23 years sitting in prison. It's a needle in the haystack. It's a lot of people sitting in prison innocent right now and no one's looking for them. So how do one go from being in prison to being free when no one's looking for them? You have to vibrate high enough to get on the frequency of what your heart desired most. Mine desired freedom more than anything. So what I did, I put all my energy, all my thoughts on freedom. Everything became freedom. I generated the feeling of having freedom before freedom even came. That's what faith is. Generating the feeling and the thought of having something. Feeling good about having it before even getting it. That's what we all have to do to manifest the things we want. That's how you really activate the laws of attraction. Generating the energy and the feeling of having something. Like I was in prison, but I used to run around the track and I used to always envision me being out doing interviews about my life in prison. I used to think about that stuff over and over again until I walked out of the courthouse doing interviews. I walked out into what I was thinking about. And was it distractions? It was a lot of distractions. It's always going to be distractions. And we always going to blame our lack of where we want to go or our lack of focus on the things that's distracting us on the outside. And really it's us. It's going to go back to the laws of mentalism. Everything really is about us and how we think about it and how we see it and how we respond. If you really want to know what power is in your response to everything you don't see in life. Everything is mental. If you want a job and this is a dream job and you really, really want this job, the only thing you should be doing is feeling of having the job already. You should already be driving to work, seeing yourself driving to work, seeing yourself sitting in your desk, seeing yourself imagining the feeling of already being at the job. That's how you create it. Everything comes by way of what you think. If you want that car, I'll tell you something about a car. When I was in prison, all I wanted was a BMW or Range Rover. I thought about that from watching Love and Hip Hop. It saturated my mind and it became a part of what I was thinking and what I wanted. That's the only cars I ever drove. My first car was a BMW and I drive a Range Rover now. That's all I ever drove because in prison, that's all I saw myself driving. I can either smell the leather. I can either feel the wheel of it. That's what manifestation is. So I'm going to tell you a trick about manifestation. If you want a car, all right, any kind of car, I'm going to tell you how you get it. You either get a picture of the car you want. That's a visual. That's going to put it in the middle part of our mind where we got to create it. And you got to just see the kind of car you want. Descriptive. The kind, the color, the make, the model, the smell of it, the leather of it. I'm talking about you gotta see yourself inside of this car, behind the wheel, in the cockpit, smelling the leather, touching it, feeling it, seeing how fast it go, feeling the engine. That's the energy, the feeling you gotta generate before it materialize. That's how you attract everything you need. And it works for everything else. It works for houses. It works for cars. It works for people. The only trick about people is people have their own will. So you can attract what you want in people, but you may not like what you attract because people still have their free will. But this really works with material stuff that don't have a free will. But I want everybody to be aware that you do have within you the power to attract, to create, to build. It just takes focus.